Hey class, in today's lesson we're going to talk about vectors and dot products, which is found in section 6.4, part 1. Our objective is to find the dot product of two vectors and to use properties of the dot product. So the definition of a dot product, so the dot product of vector u in component form would be u sub 1 and u sub 2, and vector v in component form would be v sub 1 and v sub 2 is that's supposed to be a dot, so u dot v there we go, u dot v, which is u sub 1 times v sub 1 plus u sub 2 times v sub 2. Dot product is a third vector operation and yields a scalar rather than a vector. So properties of the dot product. So if you have let vector u, vector v, and vector w be vectors in the plane or in space, and let c be a scalar. So u dot v is the same thing as v dot u. 0 dot v is the same thing as 0, or vector 0. U dot v plus w would be, essentially you would distribute the vector u, and so you'd have u dot v plus u dot w. V dot v is the same thing as the magnitude of vector v squared. And c times, and again that's a u dot v, c times u dot v is c times, or c u dot v, which is the same thing as u dot cv. So a lot of different ways that we can do dot products, but we're going to keep it pretty simple. So here we go. So to find each dot product, we have the component form 4, 5, dot 2, 3. So essentially what we do is, remember, you do u1 v1 plus u2 v2. So u1 is 4, v1 is 2, so it's 4 times 2, plus u2 is 5 times v2 is 3. That'll give you 8 plus 15, which is 23. Okay, for the second one, 0, 3, dot 4, negative 2, that'd be 0 times 4 plus 3 times negative 2. That'll give us 0 minus 6, which in the end will give us negative 6 as an answer. And we're done. Let's do the try. So for the try, again, you have in component form 2, negative 1, dot 1, 2. So that will give you 2 times 1 plus negative 1 times 2. That'll give you 2 minus 2, which is going to give you 0. So 0 is our answer there. Let's keep going. So it says, let vector u be negative 1, 3, and vector v be 2, negative 4, and vector w be 1, negative 2. Find u dot 2v. So u dot 2v is the same thing as, from our properties, 2 times u dot v. Okay, so since that's the case, we would find u dot v first and then multiply it times 2. So here we go. Let's find u dot v. So this is 2 times u dot v would be negative 1 times 2 plus 3 times negative 4. That would give you 2 times negative 2 minus 12. Negative 2 minus 12 would be 2 times negative 14. And in the end, that answer is negative 28. So negative 28 is your final answer. Let's move on to try 2. In try 2, again, we have to find u dot v first and then multiply it times w. Well, we already know what u dot v is. We just found it a second ago. And u dot v from the last problem is negative 14. So essentially we have negative 14 times W. Okay, so negative 14 would be, or negative 14W would be negative 14 times the component form of W, and the component form of W would be 1, negative 2. So remember, when it's just a scalar being multiplied, you essentially distribute the scalar inside. So that would be negative 14 times 1, comma, negative 14 times negative 2. And that would give you negative 14, comma, 28 in component form. And let's look at our last one. It says the dot product of vector v with itself is 5. What is the length of vector v? So they're asking you, if they ask you for length, remember they're asking you for the magnitude of vector v. So what is the magnitude? Well, the only formula that had magnitude associated with it was this formula, which said magnitude of vector v squared is the same thing as vector v times vector v. Okay, and right now we're being told that equals 5. So for us, if we want to find the magnitude, we're going to need to go back a couple of steps. So focusing on just this portion right here. So focusing on just this portion right here, and maybe I shouldn't have done that, but just this portion here. What we're going to do next is kind of solve it as if I'm solving for the magnitude. So to get the square to go away, we have to square root both sides. That would leave us with the magnitude of vector v equal to the square root of v dot v. And so to square root that is essentially to square root our answer, which is the square root of 5. So the square root of 5 is our magnitude. And we are done. Guys, if you have any questions, please be sure to come see me for tutoring.